to kind of be ready for, okay, perfect. All right, so then you're gonna want to click a circle that has like dots around it, and I'll be showing you in class, and it's on this video too. So I click this, and then I go to linear, the linear graduate, or gradient, sorry, gradient. The linear gradient, then you're going to want to be careful because I didn't understand how to use this, but so it's going to be like trial and error, and you can just delete it off of what you're doing. So whatever is in the red is going to be affected by whatever you're doing on this. So I want my ground on here to be more darker in the sense. So you see immediately it gets darker when I click the exposure, but I just want a little bit of exposure there, and then you can like move it up and make it better on that. Yeah, but so far I'm gonna bring this down a little bit. Okay. It always tells me this map is offline. Alright. So then, personally, I like the way this picture looks, because I wanted, you can always go back to the editing and like mess with it a little bit. I feel like the contrast is way too, but yeah, so that's how you use this filter to darken an area. I'm going to show you how you use it to lighten an area on this photo right here. Pretty sure I reset it. Yeah, it's reset. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to do a little bit of editing again, and like, let's say it's this dark. Contrast up a little bit of highlights in there, shadows. Alright, and so I'm gonna get to using the linear gradient on here. So I want to make this brighter, and you can click shift key to make it straight to where it won't move, but I personally like moving it, and then you can always delete it because I don't like the way I put this on here. So I usually delete mask 1, it gets rid of it, I click this again, we're starting fresh. Alright, so okay, so let's see, I want to bring this up a little bit to indicate that it was a little brighter outside instead of being as dark. And so personally for me, I'm kind of just eyeballing it in the ways of what I want on my photo. And so what I did right here is I'm perfectly fine with. So yeah, that's how you use the linear gradient tool. So later on in the video, I'll show you how to use the other tools. Hey guys, so I just got done finished learning about the dodge burn technique, so I'm just gonna go over that real quick. And so I have this picture of my friend, and so what I'm gonna do is we're gonna start at the very beginning, and I'm gonna do a little adjustments to the photo just to make it more pleasing to the eye. in how I would want to edit it. I think that looks pretty good. Want a little less exposure. All right, and so then from here, we're going to go here, and I really don't like that background, so I'm gonna do a technique that we just learned about, and right here, shift, I'm gonna make this a little more pleasing. There we go. I like it like that. Okay. And then after that, we're going to go back to a mask. Oh, we're going to make a new one. And we're going to click brush. And this is how you do the dodge and burn technique. So what dodging is the meaning of lightening. Like lightening up some parts of your image. And then burning is when you darken some parts of your image. So right now, I'm gonna lighten. Right now we're going to dodge. Right now we're gonna dodge. Okay, so I'm gonna bring, right now I have my, my feather for the size of my brush. The size of my brush is pretty small right now, but you could just adjust it. And so my feather is all the way at 100, my flow is at 50, and my density is at 50. Density is kind of like, it makes it that, that softer type of look. So, so what we're gonna do right now is we are lightning, so we're dodging. Okay, so I kind of noticed some parts of the picture down here that were kind of a little too dark. I'm just gonna do this real quick. Okay, and then I also wanted to do a little bit under her neck right here, because it's a little too dark, I feel like. Alright. Okay, so then we're gonna, after that, oh, I think it's loading. Okay, after that, we're going to bring the exposure. As you see, it's darkening as we go down. So we're trying to dodge, so we're just gonna line it up just a little bit. I don't wanna do, it's easier if I do this. And you can always, okay. Okay. I kind of want to lighten up her arm a little bit too, so I'm just gonna. There. Yeah, looks nice. All right. And so there, yeah, you can always go to, so this shows what we did up there. If you go to here, it shows you what you colored. So then after that, I'm gonna make another brush, and I am going to show you how to burn, how to darken some spots. So what I'm gonna do is make this a little smaller, because I noticed that this is not my favorite, and I don't know if this will go up, but we'll try it. Go right here a little bit. And then we're going to bring that down because we're gonna darken it, right? Yeah. There. So it's not as bright. And then what I also learned, which was really cool, is I forget what key it was. I'm just gonna do the key that I know. So I'm gonna zoom in. You can do another mask or another brush. And then what you wanna do is you zoom in quite a bit. And say you just wanna get her eyes, we wanna brighten her eyes up a little bit. So we're just gonna brush inside the eye line. Brush, 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 brush. Cool. Okay, got that one. Now we're gonna move to this one. And we're gonna do the same thing. And what I learned was that since these are the eyes, you want to make it look more natural, so then you do a couple of just strokes around the eyes. Okay. And I feel like we got a little too much there, so. Okay, cool. All right. Now we're gonna zoom out, press Z to just go all the way back. And then we're gonna do some exposure. So to bring out her eyes a little bit, I just moved it just a tad bit. And they're a little brighter. So that's dodging and burning. And so I'll be right back to show you our next technique. Hey guys, so I'm gonna show you how to soften the skin. So on some research that I did, you're gonna wanna go to the masking like we've been doing, and then you go down to select people, and then the program is gonna select your person, and so you just click on the person and it takes a little bit for it to adjust. So then you can do like body, skin, eyebrows. It does all sorts of things. So we're gonna do facial skin. And then we do create mask. And then after that, you can push spacebar. You can push spacebar and it gives you the zoom in option. So what we're gonna do here is we are going to take our brush. So you click on our person mask and it should pop down below a plus or a minus. So we're gonna subtract from it because from the video that I watched, you wanna make sure that you have not all the eyes or the eyebrows. You don't wanna soften that up because then it just doesn't look natural. So we're gonna subtract from the mask and we're gonna say brush. So then we're gonna take the brush and we're going to, and he mentioned just do it at 50. The zoom in option right here. I'm gonna do my friend's eyes. I'm gonna get all this selected. He just said there's some things that you just don't want. Hold on. Yes, he also said have your feather at 100, have all these at 100. Okay, so I'm gonna he said right here on the nose. And then on the lips too. You're just gonna want to go all around. Make sure that you get everything. Or else it's just gonna get whatever you don't want. Alright. Then he said, we're gonna go down here to texture. So I have to find where texture is. Right here. And then we're going to, you can see as it goes away. That's like too much. You see how it's like too soft. I feel like I need to add some. Oh, that looks good. I mean, that's not 100% what I wanted, but it's trial and error, right? So that's how you use that tool. And so, yeah, I'll see you guys on the next part of. Okay, guys, now we're gonna move on to range masking. So what's range masking? Okay, this is where we are going to make some adjustments to some select specific areas of our photo. So I just learned that the luminance brush is pretty unique. It gets like the environment to where you can make it a little softer. So I'm gonna choose oh, I forgot to press record on my laptop. Hold on. I'm gonna press record right now. So we're starting off with just the normal picture that we're working on. So then we go to the mask. Then after the mask, we go to range. We click range. Luminance range is right there. So we take our tool. I want to make the sky a little different. So I'm going to bring some of this. And then exposure down. I only see how it only got that area. But there actually it's getting this area to some other areas. So when you play with the exposure, you can see which areas have that color. So I'm just only gonna put a little bit. And then, yeah, that's what I wanted to do with that. Let me see if I can bring up the exposure a little. Hey, you can bring it up a little bit and it looks a little better. But yeah, so after that, let's go back to mask. I'm gonna delete this mask and we're gonna try the color range, which is my personal favorite. So I'm gonna pick this leaf right here. So it only picks that specific color. So it has this green, then it has this green. It doesn't have our subject at all. It doesn't have the building. It just has that specific green. And so I'm going to bring it down a little bit or hype it up a little bit. So actually I want to make it a little brighter. There. So that's how you use the coloring tool. I personally think the coloring tool is my favorite, but the luminance tool, it just depends on what you're going for. But yeah. See you in the next video. This is a pretty unique tool. I use this quite a bit. So I am going to start recording my screen so that way you can see what I'm doing. So for this, it's really unique. So I have this picture. I'm just going to this picture. So where you find this tool is the removal tool. You click that, and then there's the healing and the cloning tool right next to here. The removal tool gets rid of whatever you don't want in the photo, but the healing tool, that's more for skin, what I have found. So I did this on a different photo. Let me go to it real quick. It was over here. So I have this picture, I believe it's this one. So you can zoom in and you can see on, oh no. You can see that for facial, like if you have unwanted marks or anything, or so you go to the healing tool, and this is really good for skin, and then you just you get the area that you want, and then it takes it from another part and it just gives you other pixels around the face that you might want to change. And then right when we go back, you'll notice that those are all gone and all the pixels look great. So that's the healing tool. Now we're gonna go back to that one photo and I'm gonna show you the other tools. Let's see, the cloning tool, yes. So it just depends on what you use the cloning tool for. So for this, let's say I want to get rid of this. So we select it. Be pretty careful. And you can make it bigger or smaller, the size of the brush, but I'm just gonna keep it the same. So I want to get rid of that. So I just move this wherever I want and it clones whatever I want it to clone. So I'm gonna clone right here, just make it a street. You could kind of see it. That's why you have to be pretty careful with what pixels you use. But yeah. I mean, if I were to show you this photo without even showing you how to edit it. You would probably not even notice, but yeah. And that's the healing and cloning tool.